Welcome to episode 16 about Sensei Jamal Measaras' autobiography. Hello Sensei, I'm excited to record the next episode with you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can you tell us something about karate in your homeland, Malaysia?
Yes, karate in Malaysia started somewhere around in the early 60s. And there was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Chiu Chiu Sut. He was a Chinese Malaysian, a chartered accountant, Australian chartered accountant. This was his main job. Was a good businessman. We called him later as the father of Malaysian karate, Mr. Chiu. So he went down to Japan and he brought in many karate styles. The first karate style which he introduced in Malaysia was called Shitoryu. So he had some trouble with the Shitoryu senseis because he wanted to be the boss and controlling all the Japanese people. So they didn't abide with his suggestions. So he threw them out of the country, canceled their working permit and everything. And one of the Shitoryu sensei, Ishigawa, went down to Singapore. It's just the border, like about 300-400 kilometers. And he went to Singapore and he started teaching Shitoryu karate. And that's why today Shitoryu karate is quite famous in Singapore. Then he went down to he went down again to some other countries and he brought in Shotokan karate senseis. And then we have to start Shotokan karate in Malaysia. And he had the same thing, so he threw out some of them. And then he went down to Japan again, and he brought in another karate style, which is called as Keishinkan. Under the leadership of founder Masanobu Takazawa was his name. I can remember their names, everything. And he brought in about 5 Japanese senseis. One of them was Masuyuki Takasaka, 5th Dan, was fantastic, really good sensei. And another one was Eiichi Yamasaki, also 5th Dan, was very small, short and fantastic karate. Another one was Hideo Kamai. He was bald-headed. He was formerly in Go-Juryu and then he came into Keishinkan. So he had the background of Go-Juryu. So when he was teaching Keishinkan karate, we also had the privilege of learning Go-Juryu karate. Yes, and he was famous for his Sai technique. So he introduced Sai also in Malaysia. Masuyuki Takasaka, the first person whom I mentioned, was famous for his nunchaku katas. So we also have the privilege of learning nunchaku. Then there was another one more sensei. I couldn't really remember his name. I think it's Uchida. So this Uchida-san was a very lower ranking belt. I think today he's residing in Australia. So all our karate senseis, most of them used to go to Australia to teach also. And the Australian army was in Malaysia. So they were learning karate also from us. So we had a good connection to Australia. And many of our Malaysian people today are residing in Australia due to this purpose. Now let me come to Keishinkan karate. What is Keishinkan karate? Keishinkan karate is a breakoff from Shotokan. Yes, but their karate was really good. Very, very similar. 99% is Shotokan karate. And their kicking was fantastic. Good kicks and everything. So we were doing Keishinkan karate. And later he had the same problem. So he also threw them out. And in the late 60s, he went down for the first world tournament, excuse me, which was held in the Budokan Hall in Tokyo. This Budokan Hall was just built. I think it must be 68, if I'm not wrong. And he went to watch the World Tournament. He was invited as a Malaysian representative. And he came to know all these Japanese people. And on his way, he visited Okinawa. And there he met many other senseis, including Shimabukuro Zenryu sensei. He visited the dojo. And his son also, Tony Chiu, was his son. He was a good karateka, Tony Chiu. He passed away just recently, about a couple of years back. And he visited Shimabukuro Zenryu and Zenpo sensei. So we have photos today, even today, Zenpo sensei and Zenryu sensei with this gentleman, Chiu Sut, and his son. I have the photos. So, and then he returned back. When he returned back, he started making his own karate style. He had enough with the Japanese people. He said, I'm going to make a new karate style, which was called Budokan Karate. He named the style under the name of the Budokan Hall, where the first world tournament was, what should I say, the first took part in the first world tournament was took part in Tokyo in the Budokan Hall. They made that hall, this was a new hall. So he took the name Budokan, he came back, said, since now, till from today onwards, we are going to call our karate style Budokan in the Karate Association of Malaysia. That's what it is, the Malaysian Karate Association. But it was not a federation, it was not representing the country, but this was the style, we call it Malaysian Karate Association. And the style of the karate was Budokan. So in the Budokan, you find Keishinkan techniques, katas, 99%. Then you find some Gojiryu katas, because due to Hideo Kamai sensei. Then you have Nunchaku. Then you have Sai. And we have Shotokan katas from the former Shotokan people, and one or two Shitoryu katas also inside this system. So it's Gojiryu, Shotokan, Shitoryu, all a mix-up mess. But they call it Budokan. And this was what we were teaching. And it was going on like this for many years. And one of my seniors means he was teaching us, but I was training under other senseis also before that. And then when he took over the dojo, he was the one who first introduced the karate in my city. So he started teaching the same thing, what Budokan was teaching. And later he had some misunderstanding with Mr. Chiu. So because he went down to Japan, undertook Keishinkan, and the Keishinkan people promoted him from first dan to third dan. And he came back, so he was representing Keishinkan. Okay. And this Mr. Gentleman Chuchusu didn't like it. So we had a big day for examinations and everything. And he fixed up his son to bash my senior instructor. So it did happen. My senior instructor was very badly injured. So he was angry because he didn't want to recognize the third dan. That was the problem. And so he slowly, he tried to separate from this organization, Budokan, and he called his style Seibukan, his dojo, because he saw there is a magazine with Mr. Chiu went down to Okinawa after his tournament, and he took photos with Zenryu and Zenpo, and it was written down the Karate Seibukan Dojo. So he took the name Seibukan and called it Seibukan Karate. And here he goes again. This gentleman, Chuchusut, was angry with him. He put it in the newspaper that this man is a fraud. He'd never go to Okinawa. He's just using the name Seibukan and spoiled his name. So we all talked together with our senior sensei, and we told him, and he said, I think it's good for me to go to Okinawa and get affiliated because he's spoiling my reputation. So I and many of the students, every dojo people, everybody collected this, sponsored some money, and he went down. He's a well-to-do man. There's no doubt about it. But this was some financial aid. He went down to Okinawa to visit Sensei. That must be in 1972. So Zenryu Sensei was no more there. He went. Zenryu Sensei died in 69. So he met the Zempo Sensei, and he also visited Matayoshi Sensei because he saw him also in the book written by Chichusut. So he visited, he trained just a month, and then he trained over there a little bit Kobudo and a little bit karate, and he came back. When he came back, he called it. Then he saw the writing over there. It's not only Seibukan, it was also Shorin-ryu Seibukan. But the problem starts here now. I will continue about this problem in the next episode. If not, it's going to be too long.
Yes, but I have a question. You learned many karate styles in few years.
Right.
And wasn't it very confusing for you?
I didn't see that as confusing. I see that today, at that time, I was sad. Styles start changing, and we have to start all from the beginning. So I thought, it is not so interesting, it's a disadvantage. But today, when I recall it back, I think it is an advantage because I have the knowledge of so many other styles.
Yes.
And when I'm talking with Shotokan people or other karate styles, Goju-ryu, I can easily have a good confrontation and explain to them about Shotokan or whatever other styles. Since I've been going to Okinawa, I have been involved in many other styles too. So I think it's a very good advantage. I'm much more broader minded and I have a better scope.
Thank you very much.
Okay. See you all in the next episode.
See you.